Bente Scheller is the director of the Boell Foundation's Middle East office and joins us in Beirut now. Bente, before we talk about the discussions taking place in Geneva about Syria, can we just talk about the impact that the Syrian war has had politically on Lebanon?
Well, you know, it is a country of 4 million inhabitants, and with more than 1 million Syrian refugees on top of that, that is a very difficult situation. It brings political strain, but also the economic impact is considerable, and therefore the whole infrastructure of Lebanon is under high pressure. It's really a difficult situation for the small country.
I'm sure the Lebanese authorities then will be watching events in Geneva very, very closely. We've had talks take place between the two sides before. Is there any reason to believe that they'll be more successful this time?
Well, of course, we all hope they will be more successful. And I think one very positive sign is that the major players are really committed. I mean, the US and Russia have obviously decided that it is time to do something about real diplomatic efforts to find a solution. So even though the prospects are not so promising, I think we should really look at what is happening.
You say the prospects aren't so promising. I mean, why? What are the major hurdles here that both sides will have to overcome?
I think we've heard it all. The plan of the UN is to first have a transition, then to have a new constitution, and within 18 months to have elections. I think this is very ambitious anyway, but the Syrian regime already said there is no way that the UN interferes with these internal matters. So I think that is quite a hard position. And maybe the most important before the negotiations even start is that there are issues on the table that should not be part of the negotiations. I think that lifting the sieges, humanitarian access, it is something that should happen before, because it is a UN demand and it is really important. This is really affecting civilians still, and therefore it should not be part of the negotiations.
You touched on it there. You mentioned that the Syrian regime have come out and said that the future of Bashar al-Assad is a red line. It's not up for discussion, yet the opposition want him to go. Who do you think is most likely to get what they want when it comes to that particular issue?
Well, I think we have seen really a long history of the regime always getting what it wants, and I think here also it has the support of Russia. Also, Moscow has signaled that the transition should not start with Bashar al-Assad leaving office, but that this might come only at the end of the transition. But I think this is really difficult. You know, that of course, for the opposition, it is not just a political question. It's largely a question of credibility. They really need to show something, and Assad has so not been into reconciliation that it is just not feasible to have a peace with him.
Okay, Bente Scheller, thank you very much for your time and joining us live from Beirut.